So now it is that your girl's recording. Let's go ahead. Let's start this up. Kendrick Lamar went ahead and dropped a diss to Drake and J. Cole as of like last night. Now we've talked about with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, but we've never went into a deep dive of Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole and why it, and if this thing goes off with the way how it's looking, it's gonna be a rap beef that's gonna be so severe. So let's go ahead, let's talk about it. The Unspoken Subliminal War explained the beef between Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. Let's get into this next video, y'all. Let's do it.
Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole have been at the top of the food chain for a very long time, and even in 2024, the battle for that #1 spot is still very much alive. Now, you guys really loved my video where I broke down all the Kendrick and Drake disses, but something that gets overlooked is the ongoing and current back and forth between J. Cole and Kendrick. So that's what this video is about. Now, keep in mind, some of these bars are speculation, but some of them are pretty obvious. Alright, so J. Cole and Kendrick's relationship goes way back to before they even released their freshman albums. Now, J. Cole did have a head start as he signed with Hove in 2009, and when he signed to The Rock, he dropped 2 amazing mixtapes. I was definitely a massive fan of both of those tapes. In fact, the outro track that I use on every video that I make is from Friday Night Lights.
Good to see it edited correctly. Hey, what's the dirt?
Bitch, I'm about to blow up!
And blow up is exactly what J. Cole did,
Bitch,
and due to that mixtape run, he found himself on the 2010
I'm not gonna lie with you. Like me, and well, he's not my real older brother because I don't have a biological older brother, but we grew up together. And I call him my older brother because he's older than me. My friend Mikey, like him, like we known each other like since it is I was like what 5, 6. So damn near I'd say that's my bro. He always used to say this all the time, and it's a J, you know, J. Cole song. So we would be like, bitch, I'm about to blow up. We'll say that just randomly, bro. And that's where it is that we got it from, is from this particular song. I remember this shit, bro. I remember this cover. Man, R.I.P. to Nib, bro. Damn.
Double XL freshman cover.
I got the keys to my Beamer with no beanie, man.
And as fate would have it, J. Cole shared that cover with an LA artist by the name of J-Rock.
Bring your best 3, I eat them like Nookie and give them hysterectomies.
Check out this cover though. We got J. Cole, Nipsey, Wiz Khalifa, Freddie Gibbs, Big Sean.
Appreciate you.
They don't make them like that anymore. J-Rock just so happened to be signed to TDE, which was the same label as Kendrick, and it was at that freshman cover shoot where Cole and Kendrick met for the first time. But at the time, Kendrick wasn't really buzzing, so J. Cole didn't even remember meeting him. It wasn't until months later where Cole saw Kendrick performing at a party, and he was so blown away by his skill set that he decided to approach him personally just to let him know that he was really dope.
When I saw him, I was like, what? When I heard him,
ooh,
I'm
yo, big
like,
boss with
like,
the 10 gifted subs, gang. I appreciate you. I see you back in your big bag. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, gang. Love that. If you got a gifted sub, make sure that you say thank you.
Yo, this nigga's crazy. Like, I gotta go let him know that he's ill.
So they meet up, they exchange contact info, and then Kendrick would send Cole 2 different tracks.
He sent me Pussy and Patron.
Cycles of a starving artist trying to go beyond the margins, maintaining my modest as I dream.
And he sent me Cut You Off.
I'm trying to surround myself with people that inspire me.
And I was like, yo, this nigga, I'm with this nigga, like, yo, I want to sign this nigga.
And at this point, anyone with half a brain can see that this guy is definitely special. So Cole, being a producer, starts to hook Kendrick up with beats. And it will be one of J. Cole's beats that will go.
Another one that's like a Kendrick classic is She Needs Me. Is it Dom? I think it's Dom Kennedy. I think it's Dom Kennedy and Kendrick Lamar. That shit is my fucking favorite, bro. I will play that bitch or after this reaction, bro. Like, I fucking love that song. And like early 2010, bro. That was a song for my freshman year that I remember wholeheartedly. I'm just like, ooh, I like this song. But like you feel me? You feel me, Jimmy? You feel me?
On to be Kendrick's big single for Section 80, High Power.
Visions of Martin Luther staring at me.
Now, it was
Yes.
at this point where the two decided that they were going to take it a step further, and they started planning a joint mixtape.
So y'all are officially working on that?
Yeah, we working on that.
Okay, because
In an MTV interview, J. Cole was quoted as saying, "Me and Kendrick are doing a whole ridiculous thing together that's going to tear up the world."
how many records did y'all do?
We got like maybe like 4.
You're right. They don't
One
know
of the
nothing about
songs that
this
they
shit.
did record was called Temptations. Now, it would never get released, but Kendrick did preview a snippet at a Section 80 signing.
And it sounded good as fuck.
And I mean, it's pretty clear from even the snippet that Kendrick bodied Cole on this track, and even Cole admitted that.
Another one I got is this song we got now called Temptations. But when I gave him the beat, it already had my verse on it. I was just like, yo, I got this crazy beat with an ill verse on it, you know what I'm saying? Just do with it. Yo, when I tell you, you should never give a nigga like Kendrick Lamar home court advantage.
And it was during that
Hey, listen, Justin, where you at, gang? You was literally just saying it is that Kendrick don't pull like that, and it's just like, hey, listen, I told you this nigga Kendrick, he had something to prove from the very beginning, bro. He's always been that level of like he spits. Both of them do. Like I'm not gonna shit on J. Cole. J. Cole definitely does, but like Kendrick, he will take it a step further. Cole just being nice. Okay, all right, bro. Like the fact that it's like right, Jimmy, like gang, like you gotta realize this is Kendrick, right? Pop it out, buddy.
in-store signing where Kendrick previewed another song with J. Cole.
Change for that fame, how some niggas turn sellout. Kendrick, while I stare inside the solar system.
And they would record a bunch of other records for this project, but unfortunately, none of them would ever get released, and it wasn't until 2012 that we would hear them both on the same track, and that was on a Trey the Truth remix.
Eternally grateful for the support, made the cover of the source for
Your hustle was nominated, anonymous, and you faded.
And just 1 month later, they're both on the same track again, which was a DJ Khaled record.
Hennessy for my enemies, niggas know I'm taking a spot.
That means I've been about it, and this is the realest shit I ever wrote.
Look, if you're subscribed to my channel, I'm gonna assume that you like to smell good. And if you don't smell good, no worries, my friends over at Scentbird got you covered. Scentbird is a fragrance
Hey.
subscription company that lets you
I'm just letting this be known as right now. Me and my mama is on Scentbird. You feel me? We both are. You know what I mean? But go ahead, get your bag, bro.
There's over 600 fragrances on this. What's the whole Canada? Them on a city at 50 for Spock took the world by storm when he released Good Kid, Mad City.
I used to be jealous of him to follow. He was the one to follow.
And on the day that Good Kid, Mad City dropped, J. Cole posted a tweet saying, "Listen, go buy Kendrick Lamar album right now, twice." Then it was on the very
shit.
next day where Cole was signing albums at a Best Buy in Compton, and he posted, "Cole popped up at Compton Best Buy for the signing. Dolo. Dudes don't do that. My homie for real." I've seen stories like this before where it's like, J. Cole will be spotted in New York, like riding a bike by himself, no security, just minding his own business. And it would appear that J. Cole was in LA for more than just a visit, as a few days later, Kendrick posted a tweet saying, "Me and Cole was in the stew last night." And with all that said, a couple months later, Kendrick would release another song produced by J. Cole, The Jig Is Up.
Me KDOT put TNT inside my suit.
However, it was now time for
Remember
J.
this?
Cole to shine, and he quickly dropped his sophomore album, which
Born
did have a
Sinner.
feature from Kendrick.
Yes, sir.
Apple juice falling from my lips. Took a little sip.
But Kendrick did
That's my shit, bro. That is my shit. That song is so fucking fire, bro. Like, me and my bitch took a little trip down to the gardens. Took a little dip. Oh, no. Apple juice falling from her lips. Took a little sip. I fucking love that song. I love that song. I absolutely, positively love this song, bro. This is why this makes it so hard that they beefing, because both of these niggas together just is, bro. Damn, it's such a good song, bro. Born Sinner, there's literally no skips. Now, Mad City, I will say that the whole album for that, for Kendrick's first album, is unskippable. Are they beefing though? I guess we about to find out, shit, because Kendrick literally put that beef towards Drake and J. Cole. It's like, fuck. He said, ain't no big three, it's just big me. So, I guess it is, we gonna find out. You know all these songs, or I never heard of any. Listen, Justin, listen. You can't sit there and say it is that you be listening to hip hop, but you don't know about these songs, gang. These songs is fire. These songs is fire. I'm just gonna tell you this right now. Go ahead and listen to Born Sinner, the entire album. Go ahead and listen to and Kendrick Lamar's entire albums, bro. Actually listen to him. He's been fire, gang. I'm from the West and I'm from Compton, and I stay rooting for Kendrick type shit.
Didn't even rap. He was only on the hook. What's interesting about the track, given Kendrick's presence on it, is the ongoing theme of Cole referring to himself as being the best and how he's above everyone else.
Cole is the king, most definite. When I say that I'm the greatest, I ain't talking about later.
All these other niggas is below me.
And look, he's supposed to think he's the best. That's just part of the game. But I just found it interesting
that's
that
just rap talk.
he's sharing the record with Kendrick. He's talking this way, and Kendrick really doesn't get a chance to rap back. However, Kendrick would get a chance to rap, as just 2 months later, he completely shook the industry when he dropped his Control verse.
We usually homeboys with the same niggas I'm rhyming with, but this is hip hop and them niggas should know what time it is.
Yeah.
And that goes for Jamaica, Big Crit Wale.
On the verse, Kendrick calls out multiple rappers, which triggered responses mostly from MCs that weren't even named, but one rapper that was named and did respond was J. Cole.
Thought you was a down ass bitch till I...
Well, technically, J. Cole and Drake, if we're being real, but that nigga Kendrick, he started sitting there saying this, fuck all that, I'm the greatest, fuck all these niggas. He name dropped, bro. I almost could drop the bomb sound real quick. This how you do it. This how you do it within this rap industry, bro. If you really want to be considered the best, you got to make sure that you start spitting that fire and you start talking that talk. That nigga name dropped on that that record. And imagine when first listening to that, and it's just like, damn, this nigga just named all these people. Are they gonna say something? What's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Are they gonna make a response to what they gonna say? But hey, they shook up the table for sure.
I found that shit a couple days ago. I was home alone. Next thing I know, that long ass verse from a song called Control was on.
In the verse, J. Cole paints the picture of a girl playing the Control verse that he was close with. This is likely in reference to the big splash that the verse made, given the fact that the whole world talked about it at the time.
That's when I seen the shit playing on your phone. Girl, what is that, a ringtone? Shit, not you too. Man, I hate done got you too.
Cole then has a conversation with the girl, alluding to how the hype sucked her in. People like Drake would make similar remarks about the verse, saying that it was just for shock value and that it would be forgettable.
Everybody in their mama gas, even my mama asked what I'ma do.
Again, Cole makes mention to how everyone gassed up the Control verse and makes it known that people that he was close with questioned him on how he would respond to it.
Decisions. In case this is war, then I load up on all ammunition.
Again, Cole echoes a similar response to Drake, where Drake said that if it's really beef, then let it be real.
So it's like, was that real or was that just for the people? You know what I mean?
I think it's a sparring.
What's up, Axios? The poor Big Sean Kung Fu Gang, and he did it again, overshadow, bro. Mind you, the record wasn't even Kendrick's full record. That was a feature he was on, bro. Oh God, Big Sean was probably just like, what the fuck, bro? How'd you get, listen, Big Sean, how did you get overshined? Cast into the shadows, the shadow realm, if you will, over a song that it wasn't even the niggas that rapped the big shit. Shit is crazy. Shit is crazy. That nigga said, "Hey, listen, gang. Like, I don't know what the fuck going on."
Yeah, but
You're not
at
into
the same
that.
time, it's
What's
like,
up,
you know,
Babs?
then let it be real then, you know. I mean, because those were harsh words, right?
If a nigga want problems, my triggers on auto. I make sure that nobody miss them.
So Cole is really letting Kendrick know that if he wants to make this thing real, if he wants to take it there, that he's ready for war. The last line where he states that he's gonna make sure that nobody misses him appears to be a direct response to Kendrick's verse when he said this.
I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you niggas. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from you niggas.
So J. Cole is saying, I can make you disappear. It's critical to note that when the Control verse dropped, Cole felt
Hey, listen, Cole. Had to stop you there, gang. I had to stop you there. I know both of their backgrounds. It is that they've come from very interesting environments. But I will have to say it is that this nigga Kendrick probably went through a little bit more or witnessed more things than J. Cole. Not to undermine what it is that J. Cole had to go through within his past, but I feel when you put somebody it is like Kendrick Lamar, who has bared witness to that, have a level of sensitivity to it, that means it is that the nigga has nothing to lose, even though he has everything to lose. So that means more of going out like, I bet if this is what it is we gonna do, this is what it's gonna end up being. So I'm just saying, gang, I feel like Kendrick has a little bit more smoke within his heart. And you know, and this is just and I'm not disparaging J. Cole in any form of way, but this is also a lesson to learn. It is that you don't know what is truly in a man's heart until it is you start putting them in situations to where it is that they have to go ahead and buck up at you. Most of the time, men, I will say, they ain't just randomly going ahead and just start beefing with niggas for no reason. That's more of like women actually do that a little bit more. But when you put back a man into a corner to where it is that he has to defend himself, all bets is off at this rate. On both sides of the spectrum between both of them. And anybody else it is who could probably to relate to that sentiment, but like,
obligated to reach out to Kendrick directly to try to make sense of what it was all about.
I had to have a conversation with him. So I just had to find out for myself, like, yo, what?
You came at me, dog?
What's that?
And Kendrick did explain on many occasions that his relationship with J. Cole did not change as a result of that verse.
Specifically, where are you at, like, with the J. Cole? Specifically, where are you at with a Drake or so on and so forth?
I respect their music.
Like that.
For sure. I respect them as individuals and creators.
And Kendrick seemingly wasn't lying, as some months after the Control verse, P. Diddy allegedly tried to pour a drink on Kendrick at a party. Diddy was in a drunken state.
Hey, listen, it's probably because it is. He said no to that nigga parties. That nigga Diddy probably asked Kendrick to be like, hey, yo, man, come on, yo, like, I got this party going on, this is and this. And Kendrick probably told that nigga no, straight to his face. A bunch of niggas probably, hey, listen, I believe Orlando Brown, bro. I really do. Now, that nigga literally said, you got to tell this nigga no. Cat Williams said, you got to tell this nigga no. But Cat Williams has also said in the beginning of this year, this is going to be the year where it is like, niggas is going to get exposed. Niggas is really going to be outed for the stuff it is that they're doing. Like, we started to see a lot of shit coming out in the forefront. And just with Diddy alone by itself, we ain't talking about like all the stuff with Holly Weird. You know what I mean? So, you know, Diddy said he was missing out on a juicy
and was pissed off about Kendrick's King of New York line.
I'm not gonna lie, this is a bad haircut. I don't know what this is, bro. This right here, I don't know what this haircut is, but I don't like it. The more it is that I look at this, it's almost like the hair is permed, but then it's like cut weird. Like I can't even say this is a lineup for real at the top. Like I don't know what the fuck it is I'm looking at. Like are we looking at the shortest essence of bangs it is I've ever seen? Like what we looking at right now? What we looking at? The barber said, take that, and left. This shit is atrocious, bro. This is a nasty cut.
And J. Cole defended him. It was Cole's intervention that led to the infamous scuffle between himself and Diddy. I mean, anyone out here getting in a fight with J. Cole, of all people, you're clearly just a massive piece of shit. Let's just call it for what it is.
The verse even led to the fight with Puff and Cole.
J. Cole would mention the fight years later on a track called Let Go of My Hand.
My last scrap was with Puff Daddy. Who would have thought it?
As far as awards,
Hey, listen, you know, it be like that. I want to say that Cat Williams' drug allegations, and Cat couldn't have been on drugs because he got like 9 adopted kids. You think that they gonna let a crackhead adopt that many children? Right. I think honestly for like the biggest thing is probably just drinking or with weed, because Cat Williams is very much known for smoking weed, and depending on which state it is that you live in will be the standpoint to where it is, if it's legal or not. But the majority point, from what I see, the weed is legal. But then again, you do still have some left states that it's just like, yeah, no, like we can still lock you up for that shit. But needless to say, it is like, I as far as I'm concerned, like, yeah, like he's gotten arrested, but he never had anything convicted or any felonies or anything like that. So as far as I'm concerned, it is. And plus, that nigga's very transparent. He's pretty transparent about with this shit. Like, if he was gonna be strung out on some type of drug or anything like that, then he would be very much be telling of that. You know, the funny thing it is that I know about with Cat Williams is that they started saying it is that like that nigga was crazy, that nigga was on drugs and stuff like that. When he started outing niggas, when he started being the outcast, and he started telling people no, big name people no, because once it is that you start going against what higher up people want you to be and want you to do, because it's at this rate it is that they're like, well, I could able to shut this whole shit down. I could stop the checks coming. I could stop the bag, X, Y, and Z. So to me, I feel like Cat has always been kind of like letting it be known. Right, Jimmy? He's always been kind of letting it be known to what the fuck has been going on. So, right, they did the same thing to J. Cole. It's, I mean, they did, like, as you can see this now while we're watching Quiet on Set, they've done that to a lot of the child actors or actresses as well. The families who spoke up against, like, the shit it is that they were seeing and stuff like that. Everything between the music industry and Hollywood is just becoming more and more weird at this rate. It's more stuff it is that we're learning about.
Shows for the year, Kendrick cleaned up with BET, winning Lyricist of the Year, MVP of the Year, and Album of the Year, all over J. Cole.
Damn.
Kendrick also clinched the #1 spot for MTV's Hottest MC, and J. Cole didn't even make the list.
With MTV,
honestly,
man, because you did not make.
I'm not gonna lie with you. That's a little bit of a glaze. That's a little bit of a glaze. That's a little bit of a glaze. How, bro? How, MTV? I'm questioning you on this, and I'm not saying it is that nobody. I'm not saying it is that nobody on here is not deserving of it, but J. Cole definitely should have been on here. I feel like that. Right, MTV is kind of hating on that. I will say that. I will say that, because I'm just like, alright, bro, like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Half of this list don't make top 20, or at least not anymore. and not anymore. J. Cole should at least be on this.
And J. Cole didn't even make the list.
With MTV, man, because you did not make the freshman.
Oh, man,
or not the freshman list, but the hottest MC list.
Right. Inexcusable,
It
man.
is inexcusable, man. I'm like, this dude's got a gold album. Like, what do you...
Platinum single, gold album, Grammy nominated, you know.
You gotta kind of be like, come on, son, like, word.
Yeah, it was. It just let me know, like, what that whole thing was.
And I normally take these lists with a huge grain of salt, but I do think it's important to highlight just how many times Kendrick has won over J. Cole, because I feel like that feeds into the chip that's on J. Cole's shoulder in recent years. To further confirm that the two were still on good terms, they celebrated Cole's birthday in New York together, and some months later, J. Cole brought Kendrick on stage while he was on tour in LA. However, it was in that same year that J. Cole would release what many people would consider to be his classic album, and on that project, he had a few little jabs for Kendrick.
I don't play no games, boy, I ain't no joke. Like the great Rakim, when I make my notes.
So it's kind of similar to Kendrick's Control verse, where Cole is paying homage to a bunch of legends, and he's putting himself in the mix.
Or you might be Drizzy Drake or Kendrick Lamar. But check the birth date, nigga. You ain't the guy. Cole the guy, nigga.
This line acts as a double entendre.
This was such an amazing album, bro. This was such an amazing album, man. Damn, this was such a good album. Such an amazing album. Fuck.
Where one, Cole inserts himself as being above both Kendrick and Drake, and two, Rakim commonly goes by the God MC, and Cole just so happens to share the same birthday, January 28th. So at this point, it's just all friendly competition in the spirit of hip hop.
I did know.
But it was the Control verse that.
I mean, my dad has put me on to Rakim, and damn, the other rapper is that he had collabed with for years on end, and then he did his own individual album and whatnot, which was so fucking fire. Like, yeah, I'm heavy. W Aquarius is for sure heavy into Rakim's music, bro. But you know, thanks, Dad.
That triggered this type of competition. J. Cole would also make it very clear on his track Fire Squad of where he felt he was at in the rap game.
Ain't no way around it no more. I am the greatest. Lot of niggas set on the throne. I am the latest.
Cole also makes it known that he's not afraid of anyone.
I ain't afraid of you niggas. I'll end up fading you niggas.
At the end of the record, J. Cole brings up the debate of who's really the king and claims that the crown is his for the taking.
While the people debate who's the king of this rap game, here comes Lil Old Jermaine to snatch the crown from whoever y'all think has it.
But that would not be all, as J. Cole had another subliminal for Kendrick on GOMD.
When I'm in LA, I'm the best in the West. You can test, I'ma stretch niggas out.
I mean, if we're talking about the West Coast in 2014, I don't know who else he would be talking to other than Kendrick. However,
Right,
it was
so
in this year
for that MTV thing, then that has to be 2013. It has to be.
that Kendrick would win BET Lyricist of the Year again over J. Cole, and everyone remembers the infamous Macklemore Grammy snub.
Oh man,
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
With all that said, as we head into 2015, talks about this joint Kendrick and Cole project are still very much alive.
Is there gonna be a Kendrick Lamar J. Cole album?
Man, definitely. I still would love to do it for sure. I talked to the bro. I don't know, probably a little bit over a month, and he's on the tour rocking, so we're gonna try to make something happen.
However, the closest thing we would get to a joint album would be on November 15th, when both Cole and Kendrick released a song each titled Black Friday, where they're both going in on each other's beats.
Lace myself with the wisdom, my player is a me no so pay them in for performance. Different flows hit different chicks. Let my bricks and hoes see me fish and chips.
Now, the feedback that we got from those records was pretty well unanimous. Kendrick going so hard, I forgot Cole was on it. Sheesh. Kendrick was the destruction, J. Cole was the recovery. Kendrick was rapping like his life was on the line in this one. And I can't disagree, he really was rapping like his life was on the line and making a statement. And I personally believe that it's the element of competition further enforced by both the fans and the media that would eventually come between these two artists.
Yeah.
As we close out the year, J. Cole would clinch BET's Album of the Year. However, Kendrick would win Album of the Year at the Grammys. I mean, they're both phenomenal projects. One got a Grammy, one got a BET award.
Oh damn! How to Pimp a Butterfly. Oh, this album. Hey, listen. Hey. Both of these albums are so good, bro. Both of these albums literally have no skips. Both of them. Oh my god, bro. Both of them. Hi, Honey Dip. How are you? Both of these albums are immaculate, bro. Both albums are just so good, bro. Both of them. Damn. That's tough. That's tough. If you was to tell me to choose between these two, honestly, it is. You're gonna have to give me some time to re-listen to every single one of the songs that's on both, and then I'd have to make a hard decision because both of them are great. Damn.
I'm happy with it. They both deserve it. And even in 2016, 2017, talks of this joint project is still going.
There is a Kendrick Cole album.
There's a Kendrick, they got it. You know what I'm saying? They got something in the works. They've been working on that motherfucker for a while.
And to make the fans go even crazier with anticipation, people got even more excited when Kendrick brought out J. Cole in Detroit. And just a few weeks later, TDE Punch would share a tweet saying, "I was just playing about that Dot and Cole joint. It's coming for sure, maybe. I don't know, it might happen. Probably. Actually, hit them." This joint album got teased for years and years and years.
Yeah, I thought
but
that they
the
was
fans
been gonna
still kept
drop
up
that.
hope, as at the end of 2017, the Snowman himself was able to secure a feature from both J. Cole and Kendrick for his track American Dream.
Then I put it on plate. I'm running the game, you running in place. Lie on what is known to the traveling man.
However, Jeezy approached this record a little bit sneaky, as he didn't tell Kendrick or Cole that they would both be on the same song together.
Damn.
Did he know Kendrick was gonna be on it too?
Nah. So when they heard the finished product, you know, everybody kind of knew everybody was on the record.
And it really makes sense because J. Cole is really rapping on his verse, yet Kendrick took this very melodic approach and isn't really rapping at all. I feel like if Kendrick heard Cole's verse or even knew Cole would be on the record,
instigator.
he might have decided to really rap instead, or maybe it wouldn't have changed anything, as the theme of this record may not have called for that level of competing.
The American dream.
As we close out 2017-2018, Kendrick had a hell of a year in the awards category, winning BET's Album of the Year and Lyricist of the Year over J. Cole. Kendrick would also win several Grammys, but most noteworthy, Rap Album of the Year, and we can't forget that he was the first hip-hop artist ever to win a Pulitzer Prize.
Awarded to Damn by Kendrick Lamar.
And now we get a line from J. Cole where he voices his opinions about the Grammys.
The streets don't give a fuck about the Grammys.
At the time, Cole had 7 Grammy nominations with 0 wins. And then we got Kendrick cleaning up. He had like 12 Grammys.
Hey, listen, gang. Nothing's more worse than Nicki Minaj, bro. She had, I think, more than that, and she also didn't get a Grammy. Damn. J. Cole definitely should have. He definitely should have got a Grammy. He definitely should have won a Grammy. That's kind of bullshit. It is that he never really won. So I feel his frustration. I would have felt the same way too. You know.
To his name. You could take this line however you want. And it will be at this point where J. Cole finally shuts down the idea of a joint project and basically says that it's not gonna happen.
That's not a real thing. That's like some fantasy thing.
It's not. It didn't come from nowhere. It came from us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not like it's something that's actively happening.
And as time goes on, we get nothing but non-stop comparisons and questions of who's the better rapper. Who's the better storyteller, J. Cole or Kendrick? Greatest rapper of this generation, J. Cole or Kendrick? Who's the better rapper, J. Cole or Kendrick? And at the time, the overwhelming majority would say that Kendrick was the better rapper. However, outside of a Black Panther soundtrack and a few features, Kendrick is very much absent between the years of 2018 and 2021.
Yeah, that
and
nigga
while
was
Kendrick
quiet.
has his feet up, we see this epic shift in J. Cole, where he begins to reshape the narrative of who's the best.
Niggas been counting me out. I'm counting my bullets, I'm loading my clips. Fill them strangers to the blood smoke, gun smoke. You niggas don't want smoke, no guts like that swisher, we just smoke. Okay, no problem, I show up on every one album. You know what the outcome will be. From this day forward, I move with a new ferocity.
Yeah, I'm the GOAT, no nigga don't at me. Put on your coat, the world gon' get colder. This is my year, don't say I ain't told you.
Something changes with J. Cole. 12 features in 2018 and 16 features in 2019, and he pretty much smoked them all. Now, the very last time these two will be heard on the same record was on Dreamville's Under the Sun, where Kendrick had an uncredited hook.
I woke up for some money.
And even in 2020, fans are still talking about this Kendrick and Cole project, and this time, TDE Punch totally shuts it down. One fan posted, "I want Lamar on an EP with Cole." Punch responded, "That's never going to happen." Another fan then asked if they were maybe planning something bigger than an EP, to which Punch responded, "0 tracks, not happening." So what was once a maybe is now just a very stern no. However, it would appear that even after all the work J. Cole put in, it still wasn't enough, as he was still being cast aside when compared to Kendrick and Drake.
Cole got rings, but I don't put
Cole one of the
on
greatest. He's one of the greatest.
I don't put him on the level of Drake and Kendrick.
Being as competitive as he is, I feel like these opinions begin to bother J. Cole, and it helps to mold the hungry artist that we've seen in recent years. It's around this time where I feel J. Cole asked himself a few questions like, how do I want to be remembered? How do I want to close out my legacy? And do I really want to finish this thing off with a bronze medal?
I had to make a real decision. Like, have you wrote your best song? Did you leave no stone unturned creatively? And when I thought about that feeling, I was like, nah, I'm not cool with that.
And in my opinion, he made his choice, and this is where things start to get interesting. Fans started to speculate that J. Cole took subliminal shots at Kendrick on his album The Off Season.
Big step, a nigga don't get stepped on.
Now, there were countless posts on Reddit and people on YouTube who really felt like the words "big step or don't get stepped on" was a direct reference to Kendrick's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. However, Cole's track came out 11 months before Kendrick's album title was even announced. So unless J. Cole had some inside information about the album title, I'm not sure how this theory holds much weight.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Wait, I mean, you guys could tell me what you think. I'm all for speculating, but to me, it really gotta make sense. In 2021, J. Cole would address his position of being in third place on a track titled Heaven's EP.
Some people say that I'm running third. They threw the bronze at me. Behind Drake and Dot, yeah, them niggas is superstars to me.
So J. Cole acknowledges that many people consider him as being number 3, but instead of tearing a strip off Kendrick or Drake, he tips his hat to them, complimenting their place in hip-hop.
The tale's official. The best nigga breathing it just failed to hit you. You couldn't tell cause you fell for the bells and whistles.
However, Cole makes it clear that the fans got his ranking fucked up and calls himself the hardest in the game. He goes on to explain that the people fell for the bells and whistles. This could be alluding to the many times that he got snubbed during awards, or the fact that he's been known to do very little promo when it comes to rolling out his albums. There's just nothing flat.
I mean, he may have not done promos for the albums, but let's not sleep on this nigga J. Cole. His albums eat, bro. His albums very much eat. So I can't sit there and say it is like, you know, that I can't say that. I can't say that because that means that this nigga's not, nigga's not really listening to J. Cole like how they say it is that they do. Because he should have at least got an award or a Grammy for something. Like the nigga didn't need to do promos. Now, of course, when it comes down to doing album releases and stuff like that, you are supposed to be doing promos. You are supposed to be out here doing the interviews and talking to different people and, you know, promoting the album and everything like that. Yeah, you're supposed to be doing that because that's what gets it to sell. That's what gets people to talk about it. But let's just be clear. This nigga did not do much of any promo and niggas still talked about it. You can't, not that many artists can able to pull that off with minimum to little promos on an album. Right, and he still gets massive numbers, so that's pretty fucking impressive. Like, let's not sleep on the nigga J. Cole now.
Flashy about J. Cole. He just looks like a normal fucking dude, and very seldom is he in the media unless it's for his music.
Too much hunger, it's no wonder these niggas can't keep up. So saying yes to a feature just means I'm about to eat lunch, bitch.
In the first line, Cole references just how hungry he's become for that #1 spot. And in the second line, he alludes to the fact that every feature he does, he he raps circles around the artist requesting it.
It's been exactly 1,746 days since the last time Kendrick Lamar dropped an album.
1,855 days. I've been going through something.
Hey.
Missed at the inner city, miscommunication to keep homo detector busy. No protection is risky.
After a 5-year hiatus, on May 13th, 2022, Kendrick released Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. The album.
Oh man, this album is too good. Is that fucking Mr. Low Tier God himself?
Album received mixed reviews, but in my opinion,
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but I have to say this. This album eats. It eats, bro. It eats. This album is probably like my favorite Kendrick album. My favorite one. This album was just too damn good, bro. I can listen to this from start to finish, bro. And that's not even me trying to glaze. It's such a good album. It's such a good album. It's better than Megan's whole career. All right, let's calm down. Jay Washington, thank you so much for the 5 biddies. I appreciate you. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's literally my favorite. That shit is crazy.
Was his most personal and introspective album to date. I even got a t-shirt with the album on it. That's how much I like the album. Again, fans speculated that Kendrick was throwing shade at J. Cole on his track Count Me Out.
Ain't nobody but the mirror looking for the fall off.
Many people seem to believe that because J. Cole's upcoming project is called The Fall Off, that this could have been a very direct shot. And initially, I didn't think this was a shot at J. Cole, but J. Cole appears to respond directly to this a little bit later down the line. With that said, J. Cole would appear to take more shots at Kendrick on Johnny P's Caddy with Benny the Butcher.
If I put your favorite rapper neck in a noose, never letting them loose.
When the track initially came out, some speculated that Cole was actually dissing Benny on his own record, but even Benny said that he felt Cole was dissing someone else.
If you ask me, he was talking to somebody. Yeah. So the guys who everybody compare him with and put him in the ring with, like, to me, that's who he's talking to.
I'm probably gonna go to hell if Jesus asks for a feature.
In the first line, Cole makes it clear that he's bodying anyone on a feature and even claims that Jesus himself would take a loss. One person that's imitated Jesus
crazy.
In the past would be none other than Kendrick Lamar.
Some see the glass is empty. I see a glass full of ether, collecting his bread and mash like he a Catholic preacher.
This line appears to be a reference to Kendrick's music video for Humble, where Kendrick is dressed up as a Catholic preacher, and you could see the empty glass and bread sitting on the table. Cole makes it clear that he sees a glass full of ether, which could be a reference to Nas's infamous diss to Jay-Z.
Yes. Oh God, the best rapper alive, headshot.
J. Cole ends off the verse to state that he's the best rapper alive.
I'm the best rapper alive. I'm the best rapper alive. I'm the best rapper alive. I am the greatest rapper alive.
Now go and ask the best rappers that died. They tell you he never lied.
So damn great, motherfucker, I've died.
And I gotta agree with Benny. I do think he is talking to someone, and that someone, I feel like, is Kendrick Lamar. However, in my view, one of the most obvious and direct shots to date would come on J. Cole's track, The Secret Recipe.
Niggas fake, progressive, and woke. I started saying less. I had to stop it. Peeped how they profit off of racial stress.
It's no secret that the themes within Kendrick's music often reflects on racial tension and the struggle that comes with it. Drake more or less labeled Kendrick as a grifter in the past, and I feel like J. Cole is taking a similar stance.
Studio steppers moving extra on songs fake and rep.
The first line appears to be a reference to Kendrick's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, where Cole calls him out for faking the funk when it comes to the message in his music.
Niggas making threats and I laugh. That's cause you ain't a threat. Don't ask how I feel about no rappers. Shit, they okay, I guess.
So again, J. Cole is not looking at any of these other rappers as a threat, but most importantly, he doesn't look at Kendrick as a threat.
Smoking on your top 5 tonight.
And now for the most damning piece of all, first-person shooter.
A lot of niggas debating my numero, not the 3, not the 2 on the UNO.
So right off rip, J. Cole makes it clear on Drake's own record that he's #1.
Numero UNO, me and Drizzy this shit like the Super Bowl. Man.
Now, when J. Cole refers to himself and Drake as
big as the way, and I love that song. I hate it. I hate it because it is a distance to Kendrick, bro. But that song is so fucking good. Damn, I'm conflicted. Big as the way. That song is so fucking good, bro. Damn, it has to be a diss. Damn.
as being the Super Bowl, what two teams make it to the Super Bowl? The two best teams. By inserting himself and Drake as being the best, J. Cole is essentially omitting Kendrick from the equation entirely.
Like a kid at bed from January to November, nigga, it's just you and Cole.
Again, Drake supports Cole's previous Super Bowl analogy by stating that it's just him and Cole in the running.
I'm naming the album to fall off. It's pretty ironic cause it ain't no follow for me.
And now we get back to Kendrick's line on Count Me Out with his reference, nobody but the mirror looking for the fall off, and Cole makes it clear that there's no falling off for him.
Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me?
Okay, so he mentions Kendrick and Drake, but
we the big three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali.
So this is very much a backhanded compliment. He calls himself Muhammad Ali. Now, who's Muhammad Ali? Just think about that.
The Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake.
Again, as they continue to remove Kendrick from the equation, they need to be prepared for what's to come. And I can almost guarantee that Kendrick will have some form of response to this record. Guaranteed.
Everybody steppers were fucking and everybody breakfast and I'm about to clear up my plate.
I mean, at this point, I don't think J. Cole can make it any more obvious who he's talking about. When it comes to his collaboration records with Drake, there's an ongoing theme in their music that people seem to overlook, and their track Evil Ways is another example of just that.
High up in arenas where they see they faves, aka me and Drizzy Drake, we the wave.
Again, Cole is positioning himself and Drake as being the top two. So if you're Kendrick Lamar, how are you to perceive this when two of the artists that you've been up against since the beginning of your career are making these style of records? Then when we look at the reality of the situation, which is the fact that Kendrick does not like Drake, how do you expect him to respond? Like I said, I mean, like, I'll put my entire fucking YouTube channel on the line here. Like, Kendrick will have a response to these records.
I stay out of beef, see niggas.
And just like that, we heard the response literally last night. Just like that, man. That nigga Kendrick said, I got something for you niggas. I got something for you niggas. So is he trying to say that Kendrick is third place? At this rate, he's not even trying to put Kendrick in that bracket of third place. He only says I only see two. You know, the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? Just two, just those two. That's it. That's it. And Kendrick knows, right? He's saying it is that Kendrick is not nobody at this rate. And we done a deep dive between Kendrick and Drake. J. Cole knows that. He knows it is his history with Drake, or Kendrick's history with Drake. So not only it is that you opping with the nigga it is that he don't fuck with as it is anyway, but then y'all both are saying it is like, hey, listen, we only just see each other at this rate, you know? It's a Spider-Man meme going on here. Like, where you at? Nowhere to be found. So that's why it is Kendrick was like, I bet, ooh, now, boom. Whatever Cole responds with on his album will be much better than what Kendrick said. You think it is that nigga's not going to charge back? Justin, I'm sorry. That nigga is gonna listen to what it is that he said and go right back into the booth. Right, collabing with your friends ops is crazy, but niggas really do that. Not even just within rap, they do it within real life too.
His DNA get rearranged.
J. Cole continues to bait Kendrick with the line, see dude's DNA get rearranged, which would be a reference to Kendrick's track DNA. We can't continue to just ignore this like it's not happening. I mean, there is many signs. However, J. Cole wasn't done and even had more subliminals for Kendrick on his recent release, Might Delete Later.
Niggas swear they compare, but the truth humble. If you fuck 112, you couldn't do numbers.
In the first line, Cole references how he's often compared with someone, and that someone would evidently be Kendrick, with the use of the word humble.
Oh, bitch, be humble. Bitch, sit down.
In the second line, Cole says you couldn't do numbers, which is in reference to Kendrick's last project, where many considered it to be a flop, given the fact that it was his lowest selling album in the last 10 years.
Nah, let's not do that.
In the first line, J. Cole makes it clear that certain rappers are afraid of him on the low. This ties perfectly into what Joe Budden said about Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick talking shit to everybody in the world but a nigga named Jermaine.
Heard her talking like we peers, but they grossly mistaken, and it's blatant.
In the second line, Cole points out directly that people think he's friends with Kendrick, but that it's blatantly obvious this is not the case. The reality of the situation is the two have not been seen in the same room together in 6-7 years, 0 collaborations have happened, 0 support for one another's projects, and they don't even follow each other on social media. And I don't know if they ever followed each other, but I'm pretty sure they did. And many people would argue that J. Cole made it clear in his 2021 interview with Kevin Durant that he valued his relationships with Drake and Kendrick.
I would, I don't want to be like, damn, we never kicked it, you know what I mean? Like, we never really even did nothing. So like, I'm at that point where it's like, I'm more interested in the genuine relationship.
Okay, so who does he have a relationship with today? Who's he making records with?
Drake.
Who's he taking pictures with? Who's he showing up on stage for?
Drake.
He's talking about Drake here, not Kendrick.
Drake.
Back in 2020, J. Cole released somewhat of a roadmap / schedule for his music. Based on the trajectory of what we've seen, he appears to be following this to a T, so before we get the fall off, I believe we'll be getting something in the form of a mixtape or EP called It's a Boy. Regardless of the schedule, I think it's safe to assume that not only will J. Cole continue to strive for this #1 spot, but that he's willing to go to whatever lengths that is needed to get there. The situation with J. Cole is something very uncommon in hip-hop. J. Cole's name is already cemented in the history books. He's extremely rich. He's extremely successful. The common path that we've seen with most artists is that at some point, they lose the hunger that they once had. J. Cole is an anomaly in the sense that his music is only getting better. So you gotta ask yourself, what is fueling J. Cole right now? Well, the answer to me is very simple.
But in hip-hop, the gods come with their weapons. Enter J. Cole first. Enter J. Cole first.
And it's a chess game.
It's a chess game, exactly. It's a chess game.
And by the way, guys, when it comes to a company like Scentbird, for example, I'm trying to find a few key brands here for the channel that not just work for me, but work for you guys too. So when it comes to a company like Scentbird, it works for me because I really like the products, and I feel like you'll
correctly. Here, what's the dirt?
Bitch, I'm about to blow up.
Of course, ended out with the J. Cole song. Bitch, I'm about to blow up. Hey, listen. He said so much Kendrick Glaze in one video. He's just telling the truth, gang. Like, you have not listened to Kendrick Lamar's music, so your input is biased, bro. Take the unbiased opinions and take the biased opinions and start listening to Kendrick's music. When you actually take all of that stuff out, you will see it is that Kendrick actually does spit. I can name only 3 songs by Kendrick, which is we know that's why it is that this entire thing is one-sided, gang. And you can't be one-sided when it comes down to stuff like this. Both Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole literally spit some of the most hardest bars it is that I could ever think of, and that's why it's crazy to see that they're beefing like that. But hey, listen, What's the dirt? Thank you so much for the video. I appreciate you. That explained everything between the two. Shout outs to you. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. And shout outs to you at home. I'm curious to know what it is that you're gonna think, especially after that new Kendrick Lamar verse. I'm curious to know what it is you're gonna say. I'll catch y'all in the next video.